Alright guys, it's time for rolls 21 through 25. Now unfortunately we've run out of all copper rolls. Those were crazy good rolls, and but we're out of them, so can't have any more of those. So I'll just be grabbing these 5 rolls. These are all customer wraps. I might just keep the wrappers for these for old ones. I like the way they look. I think they look old, even though they aren't. Here's what we found so far. 50-something wheats, which is crazy. Some 59s, 70 S's, a couple King Georges in there. And here's the scoring. Now the way I'm doing the scoring is for each set of 5 rolls, I will score them, and if you guess on the video before the right score for the following video, you get a shout out in that video. So we'll be determining in this video who will win the next shout out. And let's just set this up. I think this is a little bit rotated. Yeah, maybe not. Let's start with one of these ones. These red rolls. I'm going to grab the box to toss the discards in. Hey, let's see what's in this. Oh, there's a bunch of Canadians in here. That's interesting. Alright, toss this roll off to the side. And boy, I haven't seen much zinc at all so far, but it looks so much different. And it is disappointing, honestly. Zinc is just, it's so cheap. Of course, that's the point, but still. You can see all these coins just look so much worse than the copper ones did. Is that a 2009? No, it's a 2003. Also much lower relief, which is not as nice. I like the high relief coins. They look so much nicer and cleaner. Anyways, these are going to be a lot faster to go through because there's... I think that's a Canadian. Is that a Canadian? I mean... Yeah. Yeah, you can see the remnants of the maple leaf. Ooh, boy, that's been through. It's been through a lot of stuff just to get here. Well, it appears to be 90s because I think this is one of the 8-sided ones, or not 8. It's got several sides. But I guess that's a Canadian. And there's 2 more ooh, here's a 55. That's a cool Canadian. I'll take one of those. Of course, I've already found 2 King Georges. And a 2012. A 2012 Canadian. This is the last year they issued Canadian pennies in Canada. Well, where else would they issue Canadian pennies? But anyways, that is the last possible year you could find in Canadian, and I just found one. And that's the first one I've found in circulation here in the US because, well, they really didn't have much chance to get down, did they? They only had, what, 1 year before they're all just taken out of circulation. Actually, that's not really how it works. I believe if you have pennies, you're supposed to turn them into a bank, but they still circulate and count as money. They're just not minting them anymore. Let's try one of these rolls. One of these rolls that looks quite similar to the other ones, but I know they're not the same because they weren't from the same brick of rolls. And let's dump that out. Yep, because there's zinc. There's lots of zinc. There's another Canadian right here. That's the 3rd King George. That is the 3rd King George of this box. This is crazy. It's the 1947 no maple leaf. I needed one of those. 1947, it's an interesting year because that is the year in which, I just knocked down a bunch of uncirculated coins, in which India gained independence from Britain, and so they had to change the designs of the coins so that it does not say that King George is the Emperor of India. Of course, some countries just ignored that, but if it was minted in 1948, it was marked with the year 1947, and they put a maple leaf beside it. But you can also find just the plain 1947s, which is one I didn't have. I actually have two 1947 with the maple leaf. So that's always cool to find. It's a pretty cool, unique date. It's got historical ties, and still no wheats from these rolls. This is going to be a shock going back to the regular rolls because I've been kind of spoiled these past 20 rolls. And I expect these videos to be shorter because there's not nearly as much to go over. So far from this box, all we've got is Canadians, which is fine. I mean, I'm getting at least interesting Canadians. King George and a young hit portrait. There's a wheat. And another Canadian. There's another Canadian in here. Let's just pull them out. It's a 76. That's not anything special. It's just copper. Which I suppose you can argue it's kind of special. And there's also this wheat reverse. Let's see what it is. See what it is. I'm going to guess it's the 50s one again. Yep, it's a 53D. So that puts us at like 57 wheats for the box. I'm still in awe at those first 20 rolls that were all copper and they were just so good. Wish I had more of them. But I think that I've exhausted the supplies now of those kind of rolls. But I could try to make a point to ask the same teller next time, just to see if she has any more of those. I don't know. Oh yeah, I have a kind of a story to tell here. I wanted to try to get some half dollars, and so I was asking around. Oh yeah, there's a 2017B, that's like the first one I've seen in this box. I was asking around for halves, and there's 4 banks that I can walk to. Like there's a little town center near me that I walk to get coins. And so first bank I tried. This is where I got the pennies, by the way. This is Bank of America. Ugh, man, just went everywhere. There's another Canadian in this roll. Wow. Yeah, first bank I went to, no halves. So I decided, why don't I just try asking at all the banks? So the next bank I went to, I had brought $20 extra, just because I didn't expect there to be very many halves. So I had brought $20 extra just to hope for maybe 2 rolls. And oh, there's a 2009 here, first one of the box. And the second bank I went to, which was actually the bank that I have an account at, which is where I usually have to drop off the pennies. I asked if they had any half dollars, and the guy said he had $2.50 of halves. So I just took those 5, because why not? But then I ended up with 2 quarters and change, so it would end up being more difficult later on if I had to buy more halves. So then I tried the third bank, which is Santander. It was across the street from my bank, so it was a short walk. But I asked there. First teller said she didn't have any. Then she went over and asked the other teller, and she didn't have any either. So just not much luck with the halves on that day. And so I tried the last bank, and of course they didn't have any either. So I ended up with 5 halves. They were nothing special, I believe. Like 3 of them were 1972s. There was like an 80-something and a 2000. So really just nothing very interesting there. I suppose there wasn't much point in telling that story because I didn't have anything to show for it, but it's something to talk about while I go through these rolls. Apologies for the scraping noise. That's just the box that I have on my lap. So I'm moving a little bit as I push these. That's scraping against the edge of the table. So I'm sorry if that's been bothering you for a while. I just realized that it was happening. Couldn't hear it really over my own voice. Although I'm not even talking that loud. Come on. At least give me something. I guess I did get 1 wheat. But that appears that it's going to be it for this set of rolls. And we have now reached the halfway point in the box. So from these, I got all these Canadians, some cool Canadians. They might all be from different decades, which is pretty cool. Pretty neat. 47, 55, 76, 80, theoretically 1990s, and a 2012. So yeah, all different decades. Really cool. And there's the 53 that I also got, and a 2009. So I will work out the score for this set of rolls, and I will tell you who gets the shout out. Here's the final score for rolls 21 through 25, and you can see it only comes out to 13, so big drop off from what we've been getting before. However, we're at 144 points, so well, it's still going to be a good box no matter how bad these last few rolls are. And I think the best thing there was probably the Canadians. There's the George the 6th. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. Oh, and I forgot to say, nobody guessed right. So you can guess down below for next time, and I'll see you next time. Bye.